Have you noticed that people literally cross the street to avoid you? That conversations go silent when you enter the room? That family members make excuses not to see you? What if I told you this isn't rejection, it's recognition? Before I reveal why you're being avoided and why this is actually the highest compliment the universe could give you, I need you to do something right now. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, do people seem uncomfortable around me even when I'm being kind? Do they avoid eye contact? Do they suddenly need to leave when I arrive? If you answered yes, if you felt this your whole life, write in the comments, I am a chosen one. This isn't arrogance. This isn't ego. This is recognition of what Dolores Cannon spent 40 years documenting, that there are souls among us who vibrate at such a high frequency that their mere presence disrupts the comfortable illusions of those still sleeping. Do it now, because what I'm about to share will finally explain why you felt so alone, so different, so avoided your entire life, and why that's exactly as it should be. Listen very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will change how you see every rejection, every awkward silence, every person who suddenly got busy when you reached out. Through thousands of deep hypnosis sessions, Dolores Cannon discovered something absolutely profound about certain souls incarnating on Earth. She called them the volunteers. And if you're watching this video, if you felt avoided and rejected your whole life, if people seem inexplicably uncomfortable around you, you are almost certainly one of them. These aren't ordinary souls reincarnating through the karmic cycle. These are advanced beings who volunteered to come to Earth from other dimensions, other planets, even directly from Source itself, from God, from the great central sun, from pure unconditional love. They came here on a mission, and that mission is so important, so critical to humanity's survival, that millions of these volunteers have been incarnating since 1945. Why 1945? Because that's when the atomic bombs were dropped. That's when our cosmic protectors and watchers saw that Earth was on a collision course with total destruction. But they couldn't interfere from the outside. The law of non-inference prevented them. So they came up with a brilliant plan. They would influence from the inside. They would incarnate as humans. They would be the change rather than try to force it from outside. The call went out across the cosmos. Earth is in trouble. Who wants to volunteer? And you, beautiful soul, you raised your hand. You said yes. You agreed to leave dimensions of pure love, pure peace, pure light, and dive into one of the densest, most challenging, most chaotic dimensions in the entire universe. You agreed to forget who you are, to forget where you came from, to forget your mission, also you could help humanity wake up from the inside. Dolores discovered that these volunteers came in 3 distinct waves. And understanding which wave you're part of will explain everything about why you're avoided. The first wave arrived between the late 1940s and early 1960s. If you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s now, you're likely first wave, and you had it the hardest. Dolores found that first-wave volunteers felt completely alien from the moment they arrived. Many tried to commit suicide multiple times without logical reason. Desperately wanted to go home, but didn't know where home was. Suffered from severe depression despite having good lives. Could not handle the violence and ugliness of this world. Felt like pioneers hacking through dense jungle with machetes. Were the trailblazers who carved the path for those who came after. The second wave came in during the late 1960s through the 1980s. If you're in your 30s or 40s now, you're likely second wave. These souls had it easier than the first wave, but they still carry a heavy burden. Dolores discovered that second-wave volunteers are described as antennas, beacons, generators, point-taken channels of energy. Don't have to do anything. Their mere presence affects everyone around them. Walk through a crowd and shift the entire energy without trying. Generally live peaceful lives and create no karma. Often choose not to have children because children create karmic ties, want to complete their mission and leave without being bound to return. The third wave began arriving in the late 1980s and continues now. These are the children and young adults who are often misdiagnosed with ADHD and medicated, but there's nothing wrong with them. They came in with their DNA already altered, with their abilities already activated. They're naturally psychic, naturally intuitive, naturally connected, and they're the hope of the world according to Dolores. Now, let me tell you exactly why people avoid you. And I promise you, every reason is a confirmation of who you truly are. Reason number 1, your energy field is too intense. Dolores discovered that volunteer souls emit an energy field that is drastically different from native Earth souls. You're vibrating at a frequency that most people have never encountered. And when they come near you, their own energy field reacts. It's like bringing a flashlight into a dark room. Everyone who's adapted to the darkness suddenly has to squint. Your presence forces them to either raise their vibration or retreat. Most choose to retreat. They'll make excuses. They'll suddenly remember somewhere they need to be. They'll avoid eye contact in conversation, not because you did anything wrong, but because your frequency is literally uncomfortable for them to be around. Reason number 2, you trigger their shadow. Every human has a shadow self. The parts they've rejected, denied, suppressed. And here's what happens when you enter a room. Your pure frequency acts like a mirror. It reflects back to them everything they've been hiding from themselves. Their lies, their inauthenticity, their compromises, their self-betrayal. You don't even have to say anything. Your presence does it automatically. And this is deeply, profoundly uncomfortable for them. So, they avoid you because being around you forces them to confront themselves. And most people will do anything to avoid that confrontation. Reason number 3, you cannot be manipulated. Dolores found that volunteer souls are immune to the manipulation tactics that work on most humans. Guilt trips don't work on you. Emotional blackmail bounces off you. Gaslighting feels obvious to you. Drama exhausts you. You see through lies instantly because you came from a dimension where deception doesn't exist. And people can feel this consciously or unconsciously. They know they can't manipulate you. They can't guilt you. They can't control you. And that makes them deeply uncomfortable. So they avoid you rather than deal with their own inability to manipulate you. Reason number 4, emotions overwhelm you and they feel it. This is huge. Dolores discovered that volunteer souls are paralyzed by strong emotions, especially anger and hate. Why? Because you came from dimensions where these emotions don't exist. Where everything is peace and love. When people around you express anger, rage, hatred, jealousy, resentment, it affects you like physical pain. You can't tolerate it. You shut down. You have to leave. And people feel this reaction in you. They sense that their emotional chaos actually hurts you. And rather than modify their behavior, they avoid you because your inability to tolerate their emotional dysfunction makes them uncomfortable. Reason number 5, you make them question their reality just by being yourself, by speaking your truth, by living authentically. You make people question the lies they've built their lives on, the compromises they've made, the dreams they've abandoned, the authentic self they've buried. You didn't try to do this. You're just being you. But your very existence challenges their entire worldview. And most people would rather avoid you than question everything they believe than admit they've been living a lie than face the uncomfortable truth that they've been asleep. Reason number 6, you're a reminder of what they've lost. Dolores found that on a soul level, everyone remembers the dimensions of pure love and light, but most have forgotten consciously. When they meet you, when they feel your frequency, when they sense your energy, something deep within them remembers. And that remembering is painful. It reminds them of what they've lost, of who they truly are, of the home they can barely remember. And that ache, that longing, that soul-deep homesickness. It's too much to bear. So they avoid you because you remind them of everything they're not living, everything they've forgotten, everything they've lost. Reason number 7, they can feel you're not from here. Here's the deepest truth. On a subconscious level, people can sense that you're not a native Earth soul, that you came from somewhere else, that you're fundamentally different. Dolores said it explicitly. These volunteer souls have a difficult time adjusting to our chaotic world because they're not from here. You're an extraterrestrial consciousness in a human body and people can feel that you're foreign, that you're other, that you don't quite belong to this dimension, and that fundamental aliveness makes them uncomfortable. So, they avoid you, not out of hatred, out of unconscious recognition that you're not one of them. Now, I need to tell you something that might hurt, but is absolutely essential to understand. Your loneliness is not a bug. It's a feature. It's part of the design. It's intentional. Dolores found that volunteer souls must experience this isolation because it prevents you from getting too attached to this dimension. It keeps you from creating karma that would bind you here. It ensures you don't forget your mission and get lost in human drama. It forces you to go within and connect with your higher self. It makes you seek answers that sleeping souls never seek. If you were accepted, if you were popular, if everyone loved being around you, you would forget why you came. You would get comfortable. You would stop seeking. You would fail your mission. The universe needs you to feel like you don't belong because you don't belong. Not to this old earth, not to this three-dimensional reality, not to this fear-based consciousness. You belong to the new earth, to the fifth dimension, to the reality of love and light that's emerging right now. Let me tell you what Dolores discovered about what you're actually doing here. Second-wave volunteers especially, which many of you watching are, were told by their higher selves during regression. Your job is just to be. You don't have to do anything. Just be yourself. Just exist at your frequency and you will change everything around you. You are a generator, an antenna, a beacon. You're not here to convince anyone of anything. You're not here to save anyone. You're not here to fix the world. You're here to hold the frequency, to anchor the light, to maintain the vibration of love and peace in a world drowning in fear and chaos. Every moment you exist in this dimension while maintaining your high frequency, you're affecting the entire collective consciousness of humanity. You're raising the vibration of the planet just by breathing, just by being. And the people who avoid you, they're responding to that frequency. They can't handle it. They're not ready for it. And that's okay. Your job isn't to force them to wake up. Your job is to be awake, to be the light, to be the frequency. And those who are ready will find you. Those who are ready will resonate. Those who are ready will feel home when they're near you instead of discomfort. Now let me give you the exact practice that will help you navigate this isolation, this rejection, this constant feeling of being avoided. Step 1. The morning affirmation of identity. Every morning before you start your day, stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eyes and say out loud, I am a volunteer soul. I am not from here. I am a generator of light. I am an antenna of love. I am here on a mission. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. Being avoided is confirmation that I'm fulfilling my purpose. I am not alone. I am home in myself. Say this every morning. Let it anchor into your consciousness. Let it replace the painful stories about rejection with the truth of who you are. Step 2. The energetic boundary ritual. Throughout your day, whenever you feel someone's discomfort around you, whenever you sense that they want to avoid you, place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath and silently say, I honor your path. I release you with love. I trust that those who need to find me will find me. I am not here to be accepted by everyone. I am here to hold my frequency for those who are ready. This releases you from the pain of rejection and honors both your path and theirs. Step 3. The loneliness transformation. When the loneliness becomes overwhelming, when you feel like you can't bear another day of isolation, sit in meditation, connect with your higher self and ask, Higher Self, connect me with the souls who are also volunteers. Let me feel them across the globe. Let me sense our collective mission. Let me remember I am never truly alone. You'll start to feel them. Millions of souls just like you, scattered across the planet, feeling the same isolation, holding the same frequency, completing the same mission. Step 4. The purpose reminder. Anytime someone avoids you, anytime you're rejected, anytime you feel the sting of isolation, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, this person is avoiding me because my frequency is too high for them. This is confirmation that I'm doing what I came here to do. I am not here to be popular. I am here to be a beacon. And beacons are often lonely because they stand alone in the dark, showing others the way. Let rejection become your fuel instead of your wound. Step 5. The nightly gratitude for difference. Before sleep, review your day. And instead of focusing on who avoided you, who rejected you, who made you feel alone, focus on gratitude. Thank you for making me different. Thank you for making me unable to fit in. Thank you for the isolation that forced me to go within. Thank you for the loneliness that kept me seeking. Thank you for the rejection that prevented me from getting lost in human drama. Thank you for my mission. Gratitude transforms victimhood into purpose. Here's what I need you to understand. At the deepest level, every person who avoids you is actually honoring your mission. They're unconsciously recognizing that you're not meant for casual friendships, that you're not meant for surface-level connections, that you're not meant to waste your energy on those who aren't ready. Dolores discovered that volunteer souls often choose not to have children. Not because they don't want them, but because children create karma. Children create ties that bind you to this dimension. Children make it harder to leave when your mission is complete. You came here to complete a specific mission and then return home. Not to build a comfortable human life. Not to establish deep roots here. Not to become attached to this dimension. Every avoided connection, every rejected relationship, every friendship that mysteriously fades, it's the universe protecting you, keeping you free, keeping you unattached, keeping you available for your true purpose. Think about it. If you were surrounded by people who loved you, if you had a thriving social life, if you felt completely accepted and embraced, would you still feel the urgency of your mission? Would you still seek truth? Would you still remember you're not from here? Probably not. You'd get comfortable. You'd forget. You'd get lost in the beautiful prison of acceptance and belonging. If you've made it this far, if every word has resonated like a tuning fork in your soul, if you're crying because finally someone understands, let me give you the confirmation you've been unconsciously seeking your entire life. You are a chosen one. You are a volunteer soul. You are here on a sacred mission. And everything you've experienced, the rejection, the loneliness, the feeling of not belonging, has been perfect, has been necessary, has been exactly what your soul needed to stay on track. Write in the comments right now, I accept my mission. That declaration is powerful beyond measure. It's you consciously acknowledging what your soul has always known. It's you claiming your identity as a volunteer rather than identifying as a victim. It's you shifting from why do they avoid me to thank God they avoid me. It means I'm exactly where I need to be. And then do the sacred practice every single day without exception because you need these reminders. You need these anchors. You need these confirmations that what you're experiencing is not rejection. It's recognition, not abandonment. It's protection, not loneliness. It's sacred solitude preparing you for your highest purpose. Dolores Cannon spent her final years making sure this information got out, making sure volunteer souls could recognize themselves, making sure they understood why they feel so different, so alien, so out of place. Her last message to souls like you was this: don't be afraid of shining your light. Don't be afraid of being powerful. Don't be afraid of being more special. You're not here to dim your light so others feel comfortable. You're not here to shrink so others don't feel small. You're not here to play small so others don't have to face their own smallness. You're here to shine, to radiate, to be so unapologetically powerfully, magnificently yourself that you force everyone around you to either rise or retreat. And if they retreat, good. That means you're doing your job. That means your frequency is high. That means you're fulfilling your mission. Stop waiting for acceptance. Stop seeking approval. Stop trying to fit in. You're not meant to fit in. You're meant to stand out. Not because you're better than others, but because you're different. You're operating at a different frequency. You're from a different dimension. You're on a different mission. The people who avoid you, they're not your tribe. They're not your soul family. They're not meant to understand you. Your real family, the other volunteers, the other chosen ones, the other beacons of light. They're out there and they'll find you because like calls to like. Frequency attracts frequency. Light recognizes light. Welcome home, chosen one. You've been avoiding yourself by seeking acceptance from others. Now, it's time to accept yourself, to embrace your mission, to own your frequency, to be proud of being avoided. Because being avoided by the sleeping masses is the ultimate confirmation that you're awake. And once you're awake, there's no going back. There's only moving forward. There's only shining brighter. There's only being more of who you truly are. The alien, the volunteer, the beacon, the chosen one. Home.